You ever get that feeling a driver is doing everything right and still fighting the odds? That's where Lando Norris stands in 2025. He's fast, he's capable, he's hungry. But with Oscar Piastri ahead and McLaren's internal dynamics heating up, his path to the title is anything but guaranteed. This is the story of Lando's uphill climb, how he might tilt the balance, and whether he still has a real shot. From the start of the season, Norris has shown he's not content being the support act. He kicked off with a win in Australia, holding off Verstappen in a wet, chaotic contest. That was a statement. I'm here, and I fight. He's collected podiums, flashes of dominance in practice, and early pace across circuits. According to F1's current stats, Norris has 5 wins, 14 podiums, 4 pole positions, 6 fastest laps, and a total of 314 points so far this season. That puts him firmly in second place in the championship, right behind his teammate Piastri. McLaren is producing the machinery. Now it's Lando's job to harness it. But context matters, and Norris's season hasn't been flawless. In Zandvoort, the Dutch GP, he dominated practice, FP3, ahead of Piastri, hinting at raw speed advantage. Yet in the race, Piastri won, and Norris had to retire late, with mechanical trouble. That swing handed Piastri more breathing room in the title fight. In that same weekend's qualifying, Piastri edged Norris to pole by just 0.02 seconds. That razor margin reflects how tight their battle is, and how small mistakes are costly. Lando's also had moments of brilliance. In Hungary, he pipped Piastri in a thrilling close finish to take victory. In Silverstone, in mixed conditions, he claimed a hard-fought win in front of a massive crowd. Those are reminders. When he's in form, he can beat anyone. But he doesn't merely need form. He needs consistency. 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 What are the main hurdles he must overcome? Hurdle 1. The intra-team balance. This story is no longer just about Lando winning races. It's about whether McLaren leans toward him or toward Piastri in the crucial moments. The Singapore GP was an extravaganza of that tension. Norris made an aggressive first-lap move past Piastri, clipping Max and pushing into his teammate's line. McLaren declined to intervene, saying they'd review later. Piastri's radio. That's not very team-like. Critics like Jolyon Palmer have questioned whether McLaren should step in when contact happens between their 2 top drivers. McLaren leadership admit it's getting harder to manage as the title fight tightens. If McLaren begins tipping the scales or issuing orders, Norris could be the beneficiary or victim, depending on how the politics play. For him to maximize his shot, he needs either a visible shift in team support or a rare race uncontested by internal pressure. He needs clarity. If it's equal, he demands equal treatment. If it's favor, he has to benefit. Hurdle 2. Capitalizing when it counts. Speed is only half the battle. Lando's championship quest hinges on performance in key races, where the field is tight, mistakes are punished, and the pressure is brutal. He cannot afford DNFs at critical junctures. His retirement at the Dutch GP is a case in point. Dominating in practice, showing pace, then gone. That kind of consistency failure is the wedge between chasing and leading. He needs wins where it matters. The power circuits, the sprint weekends, tracks where McLaren's updates land best. He also has to minimize errors in qualifying, tire strategy, and critical overtakes. When the margin is a few tenths, every little decision counts. What's more, Russell, Verstappen, Ferrari, all can steal points on Sundays. Norris can't just race Piastri. He must race the rest of the grid too. Hurdle 3. Closing the mental gap. Piastri currently leads the standings. And with that comes momentum, confidence, and narrative advantage. Even in moments when Norris is faster, the psychological burden leans against him. In Zandvoort qualifying, losing pole by 0.012 seconds after dominating practice can hurt mentally. Lando has to be mentally bulletproof. Treat every weekend like a reset, stay calm under internal pressure, and never tilt. He also must show he's the clear number one when the moment demands. If, by season end, Piastri edges the title, critics will point to team favoring Piastri as a reason. For Norris, the only defense is to eliminate doubt. More wins, fewer chips, overtakes that carry zero question. What Lando must do going forward: win aggressively. He needs to convert weekends where he's faster into podiums or wins, especially at circuits favorable to McLaren. Avoid mistakes, no DNFs in key rounds, no strategic misreads. He must make the car count, always. Force internal clarity. Either ask McLaren to choose or benefit from team neutrality. Stay close and pressure the organization to show which side they lean toward. Dominate qualifying. Start in front. Avoid traffic. Control the race. Exploit Piastri's slip-ups. Unlike him, Norris can't rely on consistency, so he must pounce when Piastri enters gray zones. Piastri leads the standings. He's getting poles, wins, and leading laps cleanly. He's avoided big errors, and in moments where McLaren allowed internal friction, it's he who has often come out ahead. When Norris retired at Dutch, Piastri seized maximum points. Piastri also beat Norris in Zandvoort qualifying. The equilibrium at McLaren is delicate. Piastri seems slightly better positioned so far, but Norris still has leverage, pace, talent, crowd favor. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Norris's title path, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Which race do you think Norris absolutely must win to take the championship? I'll pick the most voted and analyze it with you in a future video. Final verdict is Norris in the hunt. Yes, more than ever he's in it. If he can balance internal politics, convert pace to wins, and avoid catastrophic weekends, he can flip this title. But the challenge is steep. He faces a teammate putting together the most consistent campaign, a team walking on tension, and rivals ready to pounce. For Norris to win, he must be better than fast. He must be untouchable under pressure, strategic, and emotionally resilient. His path is narrow, but it exists. And if 2025 ends with him wearing the crown, it'll be one of the most dramatic title fights in recent history.